Sup, this is Alex Chu, coming at you with another episode. In this episode, I want to talk about what acupuncture is, okay? How does acupuncture work? And I watch a lot of acupuncture videos, and I realize most people have no clue how does acupuncture work, okay? So I'm going to explain that to you today. But before I tell you that, I want to tell you my name is Alex Chu. I'm the guy who invented physical mortality rings. These are rings that you put on your small fingers during sleep. You wear them, you don't age anymore. For example, I'm almost 49, okay? Within 2 months, I'll be 49. Okay, and I still look pretty good. I still sound very young, right? You can't... See, if I tell you I'm 20-something, you don't know what to believe. Maybe he is 20-something, right? See, especially if you look at my belly, right? You can tell I don't work out. I never work out. Never ever go to the gym. I never went to a gym in my entire life. Okay, never ever. I bought a home gym before, but I think I sold it. I resold it like a year later or something. See? Yeah, I never work out. Don't like sports. My only working out is cooking. That's all I do. Okay. But anyway, if you want to stay physically young, you want to look like me when you're 49. LiveMuchLonger.com. LiveMuchLonger.com. Link is at the bottom of this video. Anyway, today I watch a lot of videos, people talking about acupuncture. Does it work? Does it not work? And there's this one video, this white guy and his Asian girlfriend, Chinese girlfriend. And he's being very sarcastic. Oh, Asian, this acupuncture is just some voodoo science, it ain't, That's fine. Okay, let me explain how acupuncture really works, okay? Acupuncture is actually simple. Let's say, okay, see, I have asthma, okay? Let's talk about asthma. When sometimes your asthma, especially people who use drugs, right? People who use albuterol or inhalers, they use that stuff to control their asthma. And eventually they become addictive to that drug, right? You don't take that drug, you smell a little flower, you see the sunflower, you smell a little bit of pollen goes into you basically breathe in a little bit of pollen, then suddenly your throat swells up, you can't breathe, Especially, people who use asthma drugs, it happens a lot, Well, this is how acupuncture can help you. You can't breathe, right? What you can do is, you take a sharp needle or a knife, you cut yourself. You cut your leg or you cut your arm. Or you just stab yourself. What happened is, all the chi energy will leave your throat and focus on your arm. You understand? Because you just got cut, you just got hurt. So all your energy, all your power would suddenly shift to your arm. All the blood would flow to your arm. And your arm would become inflamed. Your inflammation will concentrate on your arm. And when that happens, inflammation dies out on your throat. You understand? So inflammation dies from your throat, and the inflammation gathers on your arm. If you don't feel that's not enough, you cut yourself, cut another arm. If cutting one arm is not enough, you hurt another arm. So both arms get inflammation, and blood circulation will rush to both arms. And then the inflammation in your throat would eventually die out. Then you can breathe again. You understand? So you're not gonna have brain dead. It buys you time. You can breathe. So after you cut your arm, you feel I feel breathe a lot better. Then you can wait until the ambulance come to give you the proper treatment, like inhalers or drugs, whatever, to keep you breathing. You know what I'm saying? You don't have this, you can't breathe and you die, because they didn't come in time. They didn't come to pick you up in time. You become brain dead. That's how acupuncture works. Sometimes it's just draw your blood away or draw your chi energy away from inflammation. For example, let's say you have a stroke. You got a stroke, right? There's two types of stroke. One type is, I forgot the medical terms, okay? One type is just basically your blood vessel bursted, Your blood vessel bursted, and it's basically a bleeding in your brain. And the other type of stroke is basically it's blood clot. The blood clot travels up to your in your vessels, and block the brain. If you have a blood clot, the clot that travel up to your brain and block the blood vessel. I don't think acupuncture can help you, but if there's bleeding in the brain, okay, just like what I said, you hurt somewhere else. You cut yourself, you cut somewhere else. So you draw the blood away, you draw the chi energy away from the brain and into elsewhere. To relieve yourself from this inflammation, because if the inflammation does not die in your brain, okay, if inflammation does not die, the bleeding won't stop. You understand? You have to, in order to stop the bleeding, you have to draw away the inflammation, draw away the blood flow. Yeah, just by cutting yourself or pinching yourself somewhere else, right? So the blood, instead of flowing into the brain, it'll flow to somewhere else. Somewhere else become inflamed. So you understand? You know what I'm saying? That's or sometimes see, back in the days, the Europeans, they also have something very similar to acupuncture. It's they release blood. George Washington died because of this. He had a flu, right? So doctors, cut him open, right, to release blood, large amount of blood. There is, nowadays, people say that's voodoo science. No, actually, it's not voodoo science. When you release a lot of blood, you release inflammation. You understand? When George Washington caught a flu, there's inflammation in his head, in his brain, right? And if you don't release that inflammation, he could die. You understand? He could, his head could overheat and he could die. So back in the days, they cut him open. They cut him open to release blood, right? But then no, at the end he wasn't fortunate. It didn't work, right? He died, right? But no, there are scientific truths to it behind releasing blood, and also Chinese acupuncture. You understand? And acupuncture also does not only draw away inflammation. Acupuncture can also work by bringing in chi energy or blood to heal a certain area. Okay, let's say like after the stroke, your a part of your brain has basically been damaged, right? I don't know, frontal lobe or back lobe, whatever. Some part of the brain has been damaged, or Parkinson's, whatever. You just need that certain part to be healed. That certain part of your brain is damaged. You need a certain part healed. So how do you draw blood and draw chi energy to that certain part to heal that certain part? So that's where you also can use acupuncture. Based on records, based on thousands of years of record, they have like acupressure points, telling you where to stick the needle. If you stick the needle at the correct place, the healing will be focused at a certain area. You understand? The blood and the chi energy will be drawn to that certain area to heal that specific area that you need to heal. You understand? And so after a few sessions, after like, I don't know, you let's say you're paralyzed, okay, you're from a stroke, you're like paralyzed in your right arm or something. So acupuncturists, they stick needle in your arm or stick needles, near your brain. It's usually when you're paralyzed like that, when you're paralyzed from a stroke, it's usually the pressure, the most important pressure point is on your scalp. You have to stick the needle at a certain area of the scalp to draw the energy to that certain point, to that certain point. How come when you stick a needle, somewhere, the energy would flow to that certain area? Well, it's because of nerve ending. You have lots of nerve ending in your body, right? When the nerve ending is being hurt, when the nerve ending is injured, it will automatically trigger the brain to tell the brain to send healing chemical to that certain area. So that's the reason why Chinese, they use a long needle to basically hurt the nerve ending. You understand? Just very thin needle to hurt the nerve ending. So the nerve ending will will feel hurt and then trigger the brain, right? Signal the brain, tell the brain to send healing chemical to a certain area. You understand? So if you're paralyzed, if you're like paralyzed from your waist down, whatever, you want to heal a certain part of the brain, then you just have to find the right pressure point to draw energy to that certain part of the brain to heal that area. And eventually, it might work, it might not work. It depends, you understand? The acupuncture is pretty complicated. I have to say it is very, very complicated, You got to be very, very skillful when it comes to acupuncture. I would have to say 90% of the people, 90% of the acupuncturists, they're just, they're snake oil salesmen. I have to say that. I have to admit it, Most acupuncture, most of them are just I don't know, quacks, Most of them are just frauds, Only a few good, very, very few good masters, and it's going to take a long time to learn acupuncture, man. You're going to have to deal with thousands of patients in order to, be that skillful, But anyway, I invented a machine that basically eliminates the need of acupuncture. It sends energy directly into the body to heal the body up. And you don't need needles anymore. If you want to learn about my machine, it's cellrealignment.com. Okay, cellrealignment.com. And acupuncture, no, I don't think it can heal tumor or cancer, because imagine if you want to heal a certain part of a body, cancer or tumor, you have to use needle every day. Every day, somebody has to, to heal that certain area. Now it's impossible, it's infeasible to cure cancer or tumor but acupuncture is good for, very, very good if you try to heal a certain area. Like after a stroke, you try to heal a certain part of the brain. Very good for healing, like you temporarily become blind, Like sometimes after a car accident, you could temporarily become blind. And you could cure your blindness. Sometimes you can. You just need to heal a certain part of the brain to open up the gate, then you have to look for a good acupuncturist, Maybe it might work. Maybe if the guy is experienced enough, maybe he can help you regain your eyesight, Yeah, acupuncture is good for those kind of things. And it's very good for, like, you can't breathe, emergency, when you have an emergency, you can't breathe or you got a stroke, then maybe you cut yourself, you basically just... Actually, when you can't breathe, you can cut anywhere. Fucking, you get yourself a knife. You cut anywhere. Then when you hurt yourself enough, the blood flow will be drawn away from your throat. Then you could breathe, and you can wait for the doctor to come. That's what acupuncture is all about. But anyway, so that's how I want to tell you about. That's how I want to tell you. Okay, I'll talk to you later.